Okay, once upon a time, there was a little girl who had a jar of sugar cubes of different sizes. It was in Asia where they have different size sugar lumps. Okay, is everyone listening? Then, behind the garden was a tree. On the tree lived two brothers, and they were both monkeys. They were the monkey brothers. And these monkeys were watching this little girl eating sugar cubes from her jar. While she was eating her sugar cubes, her mum called her to come in the house. So she put the lid of the jar onto the jar and left the jar on the table in the garden and ran to the house to see why her mother was calling her. While she was away, the two monkeys quickly ran down, opened the lid. One of them put his hand inside the jar, grabbed a lump of sugar and ran up to the tree where they broke it into two pieces so they could each have some sugar. Now the problem was one of the pieces was bigger and one of the pieces was smaller. So they couldn't decide who should have the big piece and who should have the small piece. And they started to fight. While they were fighting, a cat climbed up the tree and asked what the trouble was. Then the monkeys told them the story. So the cat took one lump in each hand and weighed them, pretending to weigh them, and said, "Yeah, this one does look bigger," about the big piece. Then she took a big bite out of the big piece, but now the big piece was smaller and the small piece was bigger. So then she looked at them and then she took a big bite of the other piece. But now that piece was smaller and the other piece is bigger. So she took a big bite of the big piece. She kept doing this until she ate all the sugar. And then the monkeys had no sugar left. So the lesson in the story is, like, if you argue for no reason and if you just can't work out how to share something, then you might end up with nothing each, because that would be fair and equal. You get 0 and you get 0. So 0 and 0 is the same. But it's a foolish way. Better to just let the younger one have the slightly bigger piece. Or the one who's more hungry could have the slightly bigger piece. Yeah? That's the end of my story.